the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets, you jackwagons! Brad the Big Noise Evans here alongside the good sir, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed the Friday edition of the Fade 5 podcast. And let's go ahead and step on the damn accelerator already and hop aboard the Hong Kong Plus bus, as we always do to start off the Fade 5 podcast. And Lundy, looking at the Major League Baseball slate tonight, maybe it's going to be professional pickleball, tennis, golf, I don't care. Choose your weaponry, good sir. What is your favorite longer odds wager that's plus 100 or more? Give it a stab. What do you got for me?
Well, let's start off with the fact that I've just realized that my coffee is in the other room. So this is going to be a bit of a feisty edition of the Fade 5, because one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to be kind of just in an irritable mood throughout the next 30 minutes, or we are going to rapid fire this son of a bitch so that I can hurry up and get my coffee. All right, Brad, we like it when we get the swing and a miss, don't we? Or occasionally we go with the backwards K. So let me give you a two-legger here. Each one of these guys to have a strikeout in one of their at-bats. Let me start off with Jesse Winker taking on Shane Bieber, and he will not be feeling the Bieber fever, or at least not feeling it at least once in his at-bats. He's been striking out this season at about a 31% clip. Okay, so you put all of this together, he's got 4 strikeouts over the course of his career against Bieber. So Bieber's been able to fan him a handful of times. There's not a lot of sample size there. So the 4 strikeouts doesn't sound like a lot, but it kind of is. He's got a 214 lifetime average against Bieber. So give me Jesse Winker to have a swing and a miss. And then let's come to Coors. And I understand that it's Coors. Mike Trout, he's due for a good fancy swing and a miss. And if it's going to happen, you're going to do it up against a guy like Kyle Freeland, who's basically the only pitcher that the Rockies have of any kind of note. And of the 50 strikeouts on the season that Kyle Freeland has, 36 of those are at Coors, okay? He's just a lot happier at home. He's a Denver kid. He grew up here, so he's used to pitching at the altitude. Mike Trout, I told you that Winker's striking out at about 31%. Trout's even higher. He's at about 32.5%. So all I need is 1 strikeout out of Winker, 1 strikeout out of Mike Trout. If you do that over at DraftKings for this evening, plus 142.
Oh, get some news. Buy that juice. I love the call on Trout, especially. He's good.
Oh, by the way, Trout is 0 for 6 lifetime against Freeland.
With how many Ks?
2.
Oh,
2 Ks,
there you go.
2 Ks, 2 walks. That's it. 0 for 6.
Yep. I may add a couple of $100 bills, 2 of them. As a matter of fact, to that 1K, that's 2 Ks prop that Lundy laid out on the plus bus for me tonight. I got a 2-legger as well, and I am attacking the Zackhs, spelled differently, one with a K, one with a H. But Zack Greinke, give me the under on 1.5 walks against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's leg numero uno. Leg numero dos, give me Zack with an H. Davies over 2.5 earned runs in San Francisco. Both those events occur. Look at a cool plus 178 at DraftKings Sportsbook. Going to Greinke, man. He is a pure contact pitcher at this juncture in his career. The 40-something, he's got the baggy eyes, but still a guy kind of like Rich Hill that's getting it done occasionally this season on the mound, especially in the walks category. Just a 1.17 walks per 9 mark. He has gone under 1.5 free passes in a game in 14 of 15 starts. Tampa, exactly middle of the pack in Major League Baseball the last couple of weeks in walk percentage at number 15 in Major League Baseball at 8.8. And again, I talk about that contact rate. One of the highest in the bigs is Greinke's at 84.1%. So under 1.5 walks, I think that cashes. Zach Davies, meanwhile, stinks. Actually, he just royally sucks. I don't know if you noticed it this season, but he is frequently giving up at least 3 earned runs. And Arizona's been on this whirlwind cross-country trek. They were in Washington for a single-game makeup from the fire smoke game that occurred a couple of weeks ago. So they went from right coast to left coast overnight. They got to take on one of the hottest offensive teams. Hell, one of the hottest teams in baseball tonight at home in San Francisco. And the Giants have the most runs scored of any team in the bigs over the last couple of weeks. And on top of that, you look at Davies, 7.11 ERA overall. He's been over 2.5 earned in 3 of his last 4. So the soft tosser, I think, is going to get blasted. So to recap, Greinke under 1.5 walks, Davies over 2.5 earned runs on that Zack attack special, plus 178 there at DraftKings. With those bets on the board, let's get after it with another edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
Numero 5 on the countdown today. Manny Machado. Macho man. He is exactly out against left-handed pitchers. So as a result, I'm going to take him to register RBI. I just need un ribby against the Washington Nationals, plus 130 are the odds there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Who is he going against? Oh, you might have heard this guy, Patrick Corbin, a pitcher that we often pick on. Now, Corbin has been much better here of late, but still has a 4.89 ERA on the season. His xERA at 6.32 suggests that ERA mark on the surface should be a hell of a lot higher because he's given up a 46.0 hard hit percentage, one of the highest of any qualifying starters in Major League Baseball. On top of that, Machado 7 for 18 lifetime against them with a 1,011 OPS, and 2, Machado batting 381 against southpaw pitching on the season, and he was recorded an RBI in 8 of his last 9. So macho man. I'm getting down, and I am the construction worker because he is going to sledgehammer this sucker home on that over half of a ribby against the Nats, plus 130 at DraftKings. Lundy, are you going to get in the line and dance with me? Fade or follow?
It's better than singing. So I, if I have to, I'll dance. I definitely am not singing. Prefer to, frankly, not do either one of them. I'd rather just put on the Indian headdress and stand in the corner.
Okay.
Excuse me, and I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I love this one at plus odds, especially with what he's done. He's got 13 ribbies in the month of June. He's batting .312 this month. So he's putting wood to the ball. I mean, if he can get you a long fly ball and knock somebody in from third, obviously that works for you as well. I'm not so sure, Brad, that it isn't worth also sprinkling maybe a half unit bet, maybe 3/4 unit on his total bases as well, just because of how he's been hitting. He had the round tripper last night. I actually had that one. I had a bet on him for a home run last night. So that was awfully nice. And that 10-0, just absolute blasting that they did. So put all of that together. You got to ride Machado right now with what he's doing in the month of June.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You're the Native American headdress individual in the line. I am the construction worker. But regardless, we're pelvic thrusting on Manny Machado.
Number 4.
All right, numero 4 on the countdown, Fade 5. Today, we're going to stick with the RBI theme, and it is certainly a guy has been piling him up in an MVP caliber season for the Atlanta Braves, and that is Ronald Acuna Jr. And I say Acuna Matata. He knocks in a run against the Cincinnati Reds, who are atop the NL Central right now. One of the youngest teams in baseball, one of the surprise squads in baseball. Even money, best odds of business right now at DraftKings at that plus 100. And it's all about taking advantage of the pitching matchup. And I think he is going to go off in the box score. Why? Luke Weaver has a certain willingness of serving up long balls to the opposition. 2.05 home run per 9 mark does the Cincinnati starter own this year with a 43.3% hard hit rate. Again, not quite Corbin-esque, but really not far off from being Corbin-esque. He's got a 6.47 overall ERA. And you look at Acuna, 4 for 11 lifetime with a round tripper at a 1,182 OPS against Weaver. And he has gone around the bases 3 times here in his last 15. So I think he sends a moonshot over the fence which will likely make us some money. But to play this safe, you could, split a gap, hit a double, triple, single, hell, walk in a dude. I don't care. Sack fly. Just give me an RBI, Acuna, atop that Bravos order. And if you do, it's plus 100 at DraftKings. Lundy, fade or follow?
Gonna fade on this one, and here's why.
Oh, really?
It is difficult to predict sometimes where the offense is going to come from with Atlanta because they've got so many dudes that can do it. So I know you can talk about what Acuna's done. We're talking about, look, Atlanta's won 8 in a row. Cincinnati's won 11 in a row. Something's got to give in this contest this evening. 6:40, by the way, Eastern time for the first pitch on this one, with really what's arguably the game of the night because of how hot both of these two teams are. But if you look at Acuna, he's only got 1 ribby in the last 5 games. He's getting hits. The problem is you're getting the RBIs from all over the place. He's minus 220 to score a run. So the odds makers fully expect him to get on base one way or the other. But that's the reason why I think you're seeing such massive odds in the opposite direction for him to score a run compared to the RBI. I think the RBI is going to wind up coming behind him in the order when he's in that leadoff spot. So I'm going to fade you on this one, but I will say this. I don't mind the idea of grabbing him to score a run, pair it up with somebody else to touch home plate, take that minus 220, go find somebody else that's right around like minus 175, somewhere in that range. Get yourself a good 2-leg payday, but I'm a little worried about Acuna actually knocking one in himself tonight, so I got to fade.
Well, Acuna, just call your own stinking number. Hit one over the fence. I win on an RBI. Lundy wins on a run scored, and we all stinking win.
Number 3.
What the Eflin? That's exactly what I said when I saw this line open at BetMGM, and I'm talking about Zach Eflin, another Zack attack member, a third that we have featured so far on the pod. The starter for the Tampa Bay Rays, I feel, gets over 18 and a half outs against the Kansas City Royals, and why I did a double take when I saw the juice initially is it's plus 130. Yes, please, at BetMGM. And I think he does get to the 6 2/3 necessary to cash a winner here. The reason why is very simple. You look at Kansas City. Scoring has been a chore for them this year. They are number 22 in total run score, plating 45 dudes in their last 13 games in Major League Baseball. Eflin doesn't really pile up the pitch count. He's got a decent K per 9, but it's not like Strider-like. 8.96, so he helps him suppress that pitch count total. And on top of that, too, 1.51. That is it. Walks per 9 issued this season. He's got a very appealing 3.26 ERA overall, and he has gotten over the 18 and a half outs in 3 of his last 5 starts. So pull together, great matchup. A guy that keeps those pitch counts down, which typically leads to him working deep into games, leads me to one conclusion, and one conclusion over, and that is over, as I spilled that out a little early. 18 and a half outs against Kansas City, plus 130 at BetMGM. Lundy, are you going to ride with me on this one? Fade or follow?
Yes, I'm going to follow on this one, and it's because of what you're going to get in bonus time, folks. So I'm just going to summarize it with that. You're going to see a bonus time 2-legger that I've got for you coming up at some sexy numbers over at Caesars. So I'll share that with you in bonus time. And if mine is going to hit, we're going to need Eflin to be the Eflin. So, yeah, I'm going to roll with you on this one. Definitely follow. Strong bet. Love this at plus 130.
Oh, I'm too sexy for myself. I'm too sexy for Zach freaking Eflin. Doesn't rhyme, but I'm rolling with it.
Number 2.
All right, numero dos of the Fade 5 today. Let's focus on a specific team. And I mentioned the Arizona Diamondbacks. I was picking on Zach Davies for myriad reasons. And again, the travel, I think, is going to lead to them being a little bit sleepy there, going from that right coast to left coast overnight trip. As a result, I love the San Francisco Giants tonight on the run line and -0.5, which is typical in these scenarios. Over the first 5 innings against the D-backs, just -120. I think his juice should be like -150, -160 at BetMGM. You look at who's towing with the rubber for the G-men. It's Logan Webb. And he has got an outstanding 2.21 ERA, first and second time through the opponent batting order. Davies, as I mentioned, has been rocked early and often this year. A 6.15 ERA combined first and second time through opponent batting order. I talked about how the Giants are the hottest offensive team in baseball. Number one in total runs scored the last couple of weeks. They have scored 82 runs in their last 13 games. Both these teams 5-5. Over first 5 inning run lines in their last 10, and both in a similar territory overall in the season in that category. San Francisco 41-34, Arizona 44-32, but it's again all about taking advantage of Zach Davies and taking advantage of those fiery sticks that San Francisco is wielding right now. So Lundy, fade or follow the Giants minus a half a run line over the first 5 innings against Zona minus 120 at BetMGM.
With the way the Giants are scoring right now, I don't know how you can ignore this bet. I mean, I don't. With the way they're scoring, I don't know how you can not pay attention to that first 5 opportunity that you've got against Zona. You already brought up their travel, all of that they've got. To me, this is kind of a no-brainer. I like this one. I like the fact that you found it at minus 120. Give you an example, folks. Caesars has it at minus 135. So Brad's right. I mean, the fact that BetMGM is giving you that minus 120, I think that's a bit of a gift here. Snag it while you can.
Early bonus time, bonus time. I also like San Francisco on the full game minus 1.5 run line at plus 115 right now at BetMGM. Take advantage. Do it for Will Clark.
Number 1.
All right, numero uno on the Fate 5 podcast today, Kodai Senga, who has not exactly been a juggernaut of a Japanese import. Give me the over. Yes, 3.5. That's usually a tick higher. That number normally sits at 2.5, but 3.5 earned runs on the road against Philadelphia. As a result, that higher available prop is at plus 120. So, yeah, work those shoulders again and get seduced by that juice at BetMGM. Why am I fading living daylights at a Kodai Senga? Well, Philadelphia, number 13 in total runs scored in Major League Baseball over the last couple of weeks. They plated 59 dudes in 12 games. A team with an outstanding 736 OPS at home this year in that bandbox. And Senga's really struggled away from the Big Apple. He's got a 4.78 road ERA. Yeah, he's given up just over this number 4 times in 13 starts, but a very high hard hit rate of 43.8%. And the biggest concern with Kodai is the control. 5.17 walks per 9. He just issues free passes, put dudes on base, and with Schwarber and Trey Turner and Nick Castellanos, there's a lot of big boppers in this lineup that can definitely take advantage of those Kodai mistakes. So again, to recap, Senga over 3.5 earned runs in Philadelphia, plus 120 at BetMGM. Lundy, fade or follow.
Yeah, roll with this one. And if you like this one, by the way, play the over in the total for the game. Kind of like what you were just talking about with San Francisco on the first 5 and then the total game. I think the over-under is at either 8.5 or 9. Yeah. Again, Senga's going to probably give up half of those. And so you just need a little bit of love with some guys to cross the plate. And I think you're going to get the over in the total on the game as well. So put all those together, try to correlate on this matchup that the Mets have against the Phillies here. I like the over in the game. Therefore, I like the over in the earned runs. Heck, I like the Yerfie in this game. If you want to throw another bet in there on this one, I think they score that somebody scores in the first inning. So you just put all that together. This game just kind of screams to me that we're going to see some offense.
Correlate, synergize, and bring it all together on those wagers. Mets and Phillies. On top of that, do the same damn thing at bonus time. Lundy, looking at the diamond action, what else do you like on this Friday?
Well, we were talking about Eflin and what the Eflin here just a minute ago. So let me give you this one, and then I'm going to give you a super bonus time. That's right, an SBT. So let me start off with what I'd already planned on before we started the pod for a bonus time bet, and that is a couple of first 5 run lines for you. Give me Tampa on that first 5-run line at the -0.5. Again, Tampa just has to have the lead at the end of 5 innings. I'm going to pair that up by going down to San Diego as well. Give me the Padres to also be on the first 5-run line. If you put both of those together right now, best odds I found Caesars on the 2-legger at +154. But, oh, folks, it's a super bonus time. If you add Brad's leg in there with San Francisco on the first 5-run line over at Caesars, that pops up to a Friday juicy bite of 343.
Oh, my God. Let me remove my belt, Lundy. Holy cow.
All right,
What
so
a value.
I liked Tampa and San Diego together, first 5-run line. That one is a +154. If you want to add Brad's pick in as well on San Francisco, you get it up to a +343. Let me get you a couple other fun ones. I told you that I liked the Yurfie on the Mets and the Phillies. By itself, that's a -130 if you want to make that bet. I also like the Yurfie in that Padres-Nats game. But San Diego and Washington, I like the Yurfie there as well. They're at a -125. If you want to pair those together, you can. It's a +218, but I like those two individually. Another 2-leg parlay for you. Coming back to Coors Field, give me Brandon Drury to go over 1.5 total bases. Now, the problem is that is at a -165 right now. That is insane for a total base prop to be like, it wouldn't surprise me if at some point they bump it to 2.5 because of how juiced it is on the -1.5. To give you an idea, he just went 0 for 4 in his last game on Wednesday, but so far he's done the over on his total bases in 5 out of his last 6 games, and 9 times in the month of June he has had at least 2 total bases. But because it's juiced up so much, let me go find some kind of low-hanging fruit. And in doing so, I find myself Manuel Margot. I just need a hit. That's it. Just a hit out of Margot. And if I pair those two together over at DraftKings, Drury over 1.5 total bases, Margot to just have a hit, +124. Nice and simple, easy number to be able to live with there at DraftKings with that one. And finally, I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's Kyle Freeland, who is the only thing the Rockies really have going on the bump. It is standard juice -110 to snag Colorado +1.5 on the run line. The Angels are favored. Colorado might win this straight up because this might be the game of the series, if you will. I'm using the air quotes. Brad knows because we were texting about it. We had a freaking tornado go through Denver yesterday. It was about a mile south of my house. It wasn't big. It was a borderline F1. It was not like those massive things. NEM. It wasn't that, okay? But there was a tornado, and I'm not kidding, folks. Tennis ball-sized hail came through the Denver area yesterday. Today, it is 83 degrees and gorgeous, which means that ball might be popping at Coors Field tonight because of the weather. So give me the opportunity for Colorado to win one of these against the Angels this weekend. So I'll take him -110 at the +1.5 on the run line. Checking out my insane chicken scratch that nobody can read. I think I'm done. So I yield the floor to the fine gentleman with the Pete Alonso jersey over his shoulder from Illinois.
Yeah, and I don't have any props on Pete Alonso, but I got a lot of other action right now in bonus time, including the Team Huevos parlay play of the day. And here we go in a matchup that nobody wants to dare watch unless you got money behind it. That is the Tigers and Twins. Give me Detroit and Minnesota on this 3-legger, 2 or more runs apiece. You look at Detroit, they have scored 2 or more in 9 of the last 11 games. Minnesota in 13 of their last 14, taking advantage of the Joey Wentz versus Kenta Maeda matchup in this particular contest. Both these guys highly torchable. However, Joey Wentz got to strike out at least 5 Minnesota Twins because everybody on this Minnesota roster is free swinging in nature. They have the second highest K rate of any team in Major League Baseball over the last couple of weeks, and number 1 highest K rate over the entirety of the season. Wentz just faced these guys on June 17th, and he punched out 9 Twinkies in that game, though he's only struck out 5 or more batters in a contest 5 times this season. Make it 6. He'll get it done tonight. And then leg numero 3. Let's go with the old and crusty Miguel Cabrera. The 40-something, I think, gets a hit. A great history against Maeda, 7 for 21 lifetime, and he's actually gotten a hit in 8 of his last 12 games. So just give me a little looper in the outfield, and hopefully he can at least get to first base. I know he's carrying some weight, and he's not the fastest guy. He's not pulling away any 40-yard dashes by any stretch of the imagination. All 3 of those legs hit. Again, Tigers and Twins, 2 or more runs each. Joey Wentz, 5+ Ks. Cabrera to get a hit, plus 245. And I put that together at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, elsewhere. Let's go with the first 5 market as well. I like the Rangers. -0.5 a run line in New York against the Yankees. It's plus 115. You get that at BetMGM right now, and I think it's a great value. Dane Dunning is toe of the rubber. He's got a 2.36 ERA, first and second time through the opponent batting order, and he's going against Clark Schmidt, who's got a 4.05 ERA, first and second time through opponent batting orders. Now, the Yankees, number 10 in Major League Baseball, and runs scored over the first 5 innings. But who is numero uno? The Texas Rangers. They have been a dynamite offense all season long. They will start off fast. Dane Dunning will slam a few doors. They will have a lead by the end of the 5th inning. And the fact that you're getting that at plus 115, I'll take advantage of that juice. Elsewhere, at FanDuel, 2-leg, I just need a hit from each of these guys. Steven Kwan, get a hit against the Brewers. And Nolan Jones of the Colorado Rockies, get a hit against the Angels, -109. And both those guys do exactly that. Kwan is batting .338 against left-handers this season, and he's facing Wade Miley, who's given up a 10.1 barrel rate. That's no good. That's no bueno. And Kwan has gotten a hit in 11 of his last 12 games. Meanwhile, Nolan Jones has been a bit of an offensive force for the Colorado Rockies, pouring down some solid numbers, 8 for 24 with a .333 batting average against lefties. Who's he facing? Patrick Sandoval, who's got a 4.37 road ERA, though just a 35.1% hard hit rate. Doesn't matter. Just, splash one of the outfield. You've done it in 8 of the last 9 games, and both those guys get that hit. Kwan a hit, Nolan Jones a hit, -109, again at FanDuel. And last, certainly not least, give me the under on Jesus Luzardo of the Miami Marlins earned runs. That's it against the Pittsburgh Pirates at plus 115. Why do I like this one? Pittsburgh can't score. They've been the dregs of the cake offensively, really the last several weeks. The last 2 weeks specifically, number 27 in Major League Baseball in total runs scored, played in just 49 and 13 games. Yeah, they've got a much better OPS as a team against left-handers, which Luzardo is, that number being 752. But Luzardo at home this season, a 3.04 ERA. He has been under 1/2 earned runs in 5 of 15. High K rate, low walk rate. Again, given the struggles of Pittsburgh, I will take advantage of that. I think they're going to stay quite chilly, though the temperature outside in Miami is going to be muy caliente. So Luzardo under 1/2 earned runs at plus 115. We are out of time here on the Fave 5 podcast. Do us a favor, would you? Very kindly drop us a rating and a review if you enjoy this show, and give us a thumbs up if you're watching us, and we apologize, on Twitter for our hideous faces. At least mine. Lundy is an attractive man. He's got great hair. Fade or follow us on the Twitter. Lundy, check out him, all his musings and all his free picks on his spreadsheet at Nate Lundy. I do the same damn thing at Noisy Huevos. For Storm Chaser Nate Lundy, I'm Brad Evans. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That is up to you.